Now that the Bloomburrow Commander decks are out, we will review these Precon decks, and then we can see if our predictions were correct. In this case, we will start reviewing the deck Animated Army, which is led by Bello, Bard of the Brambles, a 3/3 legendary raccoon bard, which for 1, a red and a green, has the following effect. During your turn, each non-equipment artifact and non-aura enchantment with mana value 4 or greater is a 4/4 elemental creature in addition to its other types and has indestructible, haste, and whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. As secondary commander we have Wildseer, Scouring Maw, a 6/6 elemental wolf which has trample and gives enchantment spells that we cast from our hand cascade. A great commander on its own right, and quite nice to have on the 99, as it complements the enchantment side of Bello's effect. As we can see, the deck is packed with new creatures, such as Trail Tracker Scout, a 1/3 raccoon scout for 1 and a green that we can tap for mana of any color, and whenever we expend 8, we can return up to 1 target permanent from our graveyard to our hand. Then there's Wondertail Mentor, a 2/2 raccoon bard for a red and a green that we can also tap for a red or a green, and has whenever you expend 4, put a +1/+1 counter on Wondertail Mentor. Prosperous Bandit, a 2/2 raccoon rogue for 2 and a red with Offspring 1, First Strike, and whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, create that many tapped treasure tokens. Brightcap Badger, a 3/4 Badger Druid for 3 and a green that has each fungus and sapling you control has tap, add green, and at the beginning of your end step create a 1/1 green sapling creature token. It is also an adventure called Fungus Frolic, an instant that creates 2 1/1 green sapling creature tokens. Then there's Teapot Slinger, the 3/4 raccoon warrior for 3 and a red that has menace, and whenever you expend 4, Teapot Slinger deals 2 damage to each opponent. There's also Evercoat Ursine, the 6/5 elemental bear for 4 and a green that has trample, Hideaway 3, Hideaway 3, and whenever Evercoat Ursine deals combat damage to a player, if there are cards exiled with it, you may play one of them without paying its mana cost. Lastly, there's Pyreswipe Hawk, a 4/4 elemental bird for 3 red that has flying, haste. Whenever Pyreswipe Hawk attacks, it gets +X+0 until end of turn, where X is the greatest mana value among artifacts you control. And whenever you expend 6, gain control of up to 1 target artifact for as long as you control Pyreswipe Hawk. This, along with the reprints of Llanowar Loam Speaker, Lotus Cobra, Sakura Tribe Elder, Burnished Heart, Grumgully the Generous, Goreclaw, Terror of Kalsisma, Garruk's Pack Leader, Grothama All-Devouring, Tendershoot Dryad, Etali Primal Storm, Kodama of the East Tree, Rampaging Baloths, and Galta Primal Hunger make up for the 22 creatures on the deck. This deck also has 1 Planeswalker, the animal version of Domri, Anarch of Bolas. The deck also has 7 sorceries, which are reprints of Explore, Farseek, Rampant Growth, Cultivate, Decimate, Harmonize, and Blasphemous Act. 5 instants, which are Abrade, Starstorm, Beast Within, Chaos Warp, and Big Score. 14 artifacts, which are Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, Felwar Stone, Gruul Signet, Mind Stone, Talisman of Impulse, Thought Vessel, Esika's Chariot, Hedron Archive, Thran Dynamo, Gilded Lotus, Bootlegger's Stash, Spine of Ishsa, and the new Rolling Hamsphere, a 7 mana 4/4 artifact vehicle that gets +1/+1 for each hamster you control, and whenever it attacks, you create 3 1/1 red hamster creature tokens. Then, it deals X damage to any target, where X is the number of hamsters you control. It also has Crew 3. This card seems to be the hamster equivalent for Mere Battlesphere. The deck has also 13 enchantments, including Garruk's Uprising, Greater Good, Outpost Siege, Path of Discovery, Berserker's Onslaught, Gratuitous Violence, Reign of Riches, Unnatural Growth, Primeval Bounty, Sunbird's Invocation, Warstorm Surge. As well as the new Alchemist Talent, an enchantment class for 3 and a red with the following effects. At level 1, when it enters, create 2 tapped treasure tokens. Paying a 1 and a red for level 2, it has Treasures you control have tap, sacrifice this artifact, add 2 mana of any one color. Then, at level 3, for 4 and a red, it gains. Whenever you cast a spell, if mana from a treasure was spent to cast it, this class deals damage equal to that spell's mana value to each opponent. And lastly, Thickest in the Thicket. For 3 green, when this enchantment enters, put X+1/+1 counters on target creature, where X is that creature's power. At the beginning of your end step, draw 2 cards if you control the creature with the greatest power or tied with the greatest power. For its mana base, the deck includes 38 lands, which include 10 forests and 8 mountains, as well as the usual lands included in Precon decks that fixes our deck's colors. Also worth mentioning, the addition of Reliquary Tower, which, with our commander's draw power, it will help us to keep the drawn cards. Having seen the strategy of the deck, here are our 5+1 recommendations. 5 budget cards and 1 extra if you're willing to spend a little more money. Number 1 is Obelisk of Urd, that you can get to cast for free with its Convoke cost, and will give +2/+2 to all your elementals that you will have with Bello, including itself. Number 2 is Archetype of Aggression, that even if it's not an enchantment that will be affected by Bello's effect, it will give our creatures trample, which will help us a lot to connect with our elementals and draw a lot of cards. At number 3 we have Close Quarters. This card will be an elemental with Bello's effect, and with its effect, if our creatures are blocked, it will deal damage to other creatures, making it progressively harder to block. At number 4 there's Bulwark, that with all the drawing power that our commander grants us, it will deal a lot of damage on each of our upkeeps. At number 5 there's Flame Shadow Conjuring, that itself will be a creature, but will also let us pay just 1 red to copy our enchantments and artifacts with 4 mana or greater. Lastly, for our expensive option, we have Akroma's Memorial. When did this card get to $30? As said before, Trample is a great ability to have so our creatures can connect, and in this case, it is added with all of the abilities that the original Akroma had. So, a great addition if you have the money to spend. And here it is, the deck review for Animated Army. Are you going to buy it? What will be the changes that you will do to the deck? Leave it on the comments below, and while you're at it, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks a lot for watching and stay tuned.